Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the space city of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room, and we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the BUCS now for their first drive. And they're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career. But that will to win, he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
Wait, set. Alabama, 380. Oh, you got deep. Strong left, strong left, strong left. 72.
Brady now on first down. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And it's a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
And now out comes Houston. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. He can run for it, and he will. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
What you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something.
Here's Brady. This one complete to Scott Miller. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
I'm here all day. Check 26, check 26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. And one advantage for this offensive unit is the big target, Mike Evans.
Play to his strength, his size and catch radius. Throw it up there, let him go get it.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Drop deep, drop deep. Check it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Wait, set. Green 80. Right here, 41 Mike. Watch the slant. Check it, reload.
Brady now on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. 72.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Wait, 10, play, 20, 51 to Mike. Watch the screen. Pass. Hey, Alabama.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Versatile players on defense are all the rage in the NFL, but it also helps to have a Benardrick McKinney who does one thing very, very well, and that's tackle ball carriers. Big man, big size inside, looks like a defensive end playing inside linebacker, still has the ability to run and cut runners off before they can get downfield.
Wait, 10, 53! Exit!
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And an alley to run. He may try and run for this. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the 1st.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Time to go, night.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
That's right, baby.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
You're set. 19. 45. Woo-hoo.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
19. 54 Mike. Check Mike.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Here we go. Time to go.
Out of the gun, Watson. Finding Fouls complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Let's go.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
I got one.
From the red zone now, Watson being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
You're set. 19. Mike 54. Here we go, D. Here I come. Let's go.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, they'll roll him out right. He'll run it. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Texans have retaken the lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, three things can happen, and two of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
3 down, 3 down.
To throw is Brady. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On the West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch 54. Okay, double up.
From the gun, Watson. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
On 2nd and 9, Watson flushed out right, and now he's going to use his legs. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Here we go.
3rd and 2, Watson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. From the gun, it's Brady. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Brady's got his guys 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. They'll run it with Jones. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll try the right side with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Brady. The catch made by Miller. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 26.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Brady now already over 100 yards passing in just this 1st quarter. It's 1st and 10. Jones. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. (10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Brady. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And he comes back with one complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st.
Let's go!
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Brady, nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Brady, he finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Brady again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, and it's 3rd and short.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Again, it's Brady. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Double tight, guys, double tight. We got 4.
A carry here for the big tight end. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on 4th down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have because I think they were looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on 4th down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
So on 4th down, on comes the Buccaneer kicker, Matt Gay. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Gay's kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me,
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
all level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
You gonna see me in your nightmare. Let's go.
Here's Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and now it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Running from the gun, Johnson. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Mike 54. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Open man, the tight end fouls. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. Back deep, Jadon Mickens. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Throwing on first down is Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Brady now, 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's first and 10. This is Jones. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on second and 8, Brady. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Bucs on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Play action, now it's Brady. And this is caught by Evans. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down now, it's Jones, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 2. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And Gay knocks this one through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He gets it to Cooks. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Bring it. Sign him, go. It's going to be a long day. Sign him, go.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Watson. That's complete to Cobb. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's Brian Anger now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now after the loss, they come up 2nd and 11 from the 19-yard line. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On the counter, here's Jones. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Here's Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Off of play action, it's Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
To throw is Watson, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick, but able to see it diagnose it, and get to the football. That's why he was able to bat it away.
The Texans on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
53! That's not new. Catch and reload!
Brady now on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense, let's go. Hey, Alabama.
From the gun, Brady. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Brady now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Brady. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Brady. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Brady to throw again. Complete. He finds Brady. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Wide, 80! Sugar!
On first down, Brady looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. Gay's kick is good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Johnson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. JPP cruising in for the sack that time.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Following the sack, it's now third and long for Watson and the Texans.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Third and long, it's Watson. Caught by Cobb. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. Here's Mickens to return. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Brady now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. First down Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A false start backs him up 5, first and 15. Now a play fake, Brady. Looking for his tight end on the corner, it's complete. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Wait, set.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 32-yard line.
Regular.
Now Brady again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 23.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another 1st down on the pickup of 5 yards. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Brady's got his guys 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Into the red zone, it's Brady. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Brady. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively, it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So out comes the field goal team once more. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Back to throw, Watson, and that's complete to Cooks. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's go.
Johnson running right. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Watson. He can run for it, and he will. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Play action. Now it's Brady. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Throwing on 1st down is Brady. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Brady. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Bradley Pena now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second and 9 now from the 21. Watson now to throw. Open man, the tight end fails. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And the catch made by Johnson. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check pass, check pass.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, it's Johnson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now it's Watson. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Brian Anger now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Wait, set, round 80, round 80.
Can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
No, 66.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Wait, set, green 80.
On 2nd and 7, Brady. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
I got you. I got you. All right, 20 hot.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And this is caught by Evans. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Wait, set, wide, 20. Right there in the middle, 55. Let's go, D. Let's go. Alert.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 23-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Brady now to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Brady. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Wait, set, 180.
Check 41. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Brady now on 1st down. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Wait, set. Wait, 20.
Check 55 to Mike. Watch the curve. Watch the curve.
Check it.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Wait, set. 29. Alpha.
Mike. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby.
Check it. Reload.
On 2nd and goal. Brady feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
All day. Sack City. Sack
Well, they had the right
City, baby.
down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad. But a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Brady. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Gay's kick is good, and that will give them a 12-point lead. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Out of the gun, Watson. That's complete to Cobb. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson, screenplay, Johnson. A gain of 32 that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Check 45 to my.
Here's Watson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now he'll pull it down. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he's in. It's a Houston Texans touchdown. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. 5 plays there on that drive. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Wait, 20! 55!
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Hey, 66!
On 1st down, Brady. He's got his man on the crossing route. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch the run.
Now Jones. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Hey, set, green 80!
Come up the ball. Double time. Hey. You got three.
Hey!
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
To throw, it's Brady. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Wait, set, 53!
From midfield, here's Brady. That's caught by Howard. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Wait, set, wide, 20!
Watch the run.
Sugar!
On play action, now Brady. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But it'll be second down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Brady. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. On play action, it's Brady. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 8. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed him out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On first down, it's Watson. Over the middle, it's Fells. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown and the two-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. From the gun, here's Watson. Rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
The Texans on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Johnson. And boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Here we go with Johnson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll try the air now with Watson on the move to his left. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
Got him. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And not a blitz there, but still able to get there from a strong safety position.
Yeah, I think that was a great example of what they call football IQ. Recognizing he was open, had a chance, and went ahead and got to the quarterback.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Double dog. That's the way.
Here's Watson. And And his throw's going to be incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells, and it's third down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Devin White coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Brian Anger now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Wait, 10. Wait, 20.
41 Mike. Record.
Regular.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. From the 44, Brady. He finds his target. It's Evans. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Brady, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Pull it together.
Hey, goal 66.
Here's Jones. And an alley to run. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Again, it's Jones. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop him short of a first down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So it's a drive that ends in 3, and I know that line sounds familiar. It's because I've said it 7 times now, and that leaves him 1 short of the NFL record of 8 field goals in 1 game.
It has been a lot of settling for 3, but I tell you what, it's nice to know that you have someone this reliable to turn to.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
And now out comes Houston. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds his man Johnson and able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. And that's complete to Cooks. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. First down now, but the clock continues to move. On 1st and 10, Watson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Set. 19. I got him.
To throw is Watson, operating from the gun, and unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have two defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Brady going to look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll run it with Jones. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go.
Wait, set, wide, 20.
It's our time. It's our time.
Brady will take a knee here, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long from Houston.